The sky above the great meadow was a masterpiece of gold and turquoise. For Pip, a fledgling with feathers the color of a summer morning, it was the perfect canvas for a game of cloud tag. He, Milo, and Fern were high-altitude experts, or so they thought. Milo was fast, a streak of emerald green. Fern was nimble, able to pivot on a breeze, and Pip was the dreamer, always looking for the next highest thermal. "You can't catch the wind," Milo chirped, diving through a fluffy white cluster. Pip laughed, his wings beating a steady rhythm. "I don't need to catch the wind, Milo. I just need to catch you." They spent hours dancing between the sunbeams. They were so high and so full of joy that they didn't notice the atmosphere shifting. The air, once light and sweet, began to feel heavy and damp. The golden light was slowly swallowed by a bruised, charcoal purple creeping in from the east.
It happened in a heartbeat. The wind, which had been their playmate, suddenly turned into a giant's hand, shoving them downward.
"We need to go back!" Fern screamed over the rising whistle of the air. But the first drop of rain didn't just fall, it struck. It was cold, heavy, and huge. To a bird as small as Pip, a raindrop is like a falling water balloon. Then came the second, the 10th, the 1000th. The sky turned into a gray wall.
"Milo, Fern!" Pip cried out. He tried to squint through the lashing rain, but his vision was a blur of leaves and gray mist. He dove toward the canopy of the forest, hoping for shelter. As he tucked himself under a broad oak leaf, shivering and soaked to the bone, he realized with a sinking heart the forest was silent. His friends were gone.
Pip waited for what felt like hours. The thunder rolled like heavy stones across the sky. In the silence between the claps, Pip felt a cold, sharp fear. Everything looked different in the rain. The familiar landmarks of the meadow were hidden behind a veil of water.
"I have to move," he whispered to himself. "If I stay here, I'll never find them." He began to hop from branch to branch, keeping low where the wind couldn't buffet at him. He remembered what his mother had told him.
When the world changes, look for the things that stay the same. He searched for his first clue. He looked for the gray crimson patch. In the sunlight, it was a vibrant field of berries. In the rain, it looked like dark, weeping rubies. He found it near the edge of a stream. "One!" he thought. "I am on the right path." As he pushed further, the rain turned into a soft, persistent drizzle. He came across an old, moss-covered log. Standing there was a great horned owl, blinking slowly. "Lost! Little one!" the owl hooted.
"I am," Pip said, his voice trembling. "I'm looking for the great pine. My friends are there." The owl looked at him with eyes like twin moons.
"The path is not found with wings alone today, Pip. The rain has washed away the scent and dimmed the light. You must use your memory. What did you hear when the sun was high?" Pip closed his eyes. He blocked out the sound of the dripping leaves. He remembered a rhythmic thump, thump, thump. "The woodpecker!" Pip exclaimed. "Old Barnabi works on the hollow cedar every afternoon." "Then follow the sound," the owl said, and disappeared into the shadows. Pip tilted his head. Far off to the west, barely audible over the rain, he heard it. Tap, 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 tap. It was the heartbeat of the forest. He flew toward it, his wings feeling lighter with every beat. He reached Barnaby's tree, but the great pine was still nowhere in sight. The mist was thickening again, hugging the forest floor. Pip felt his energy flagging. He landed on a low bramble bush to rest. That's when he saw a splash of color that didn't belong in the brown and green of the woods. Snagged on a thorn was a single sky blue feather. It was Milo's. Milo always lost a feather when he was nervous or flying too fast. He was here, Pip breathed. He was heading north toward the ridge. Pip didn't hop this time. He took to the air, flying low and fast, following the line of the ridge. He saw the silhouette of the great pine, its needles shimmering like silver in the fading rain. As Pip broke through the final cluster of trees, he heard a frantic chirping. "Pip, is that you?" Milo and Fern burst from the dry inner branches of the pine. They collided in a flurry of damp feathers and happy chirps. They had been huddling together, certain that Pip had been blown miles away. "How did you find us?" Fern asked, preening Pip's wet head. "The sky was gone." "I followed the berries," Pip said, finally feeling the warmth return to his chest. I listened for Barnabi, and I found Milo's messy feather. Milo looked embarrassed but gave a happy tweet. I guess being a messy flyer saved the day as the clouds finally parted, revealing a sliver of a pale evening moon. The three friends tucked themselves deep into the heart of the tree, safe and sound. Panic is a thief that steals your direction. Even when the sky falls and your world turns gray, the truth remains in the small details you've gathered along the way. Trust your senses, remember your path, and never stop looking for the clues that lead you home.